How's it going, guys? Universe, back again with another video. I want to start this video by saying thank you guys so much for all the love and support. We finally hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is absolutely insane. Thank you, every single one of you who has continuously supported, liked, and commented on my videos. You truly are incredible, and you've gotten me to this point in YouTube. And I will continue to make content for you guys for as long as I can on War Thunder and providing you guys educational content. And with this video here today, I hope you guys can learn something from this. We're going to be talking about how to get more kills in top tier War Thunder. My first point of discussion is going to be on positional awareness. So let's get into this. Positional awareness is of paramount importance in War Thunder as it plays a crucial role in determining a player's success and overall gaming experience. Understanding one's position in the top tier environment enables you to make informed decisions, anticipate threats, and strategize your next move. By being aware of your location and surroundings, you can effectively navigate through top tier with extreme ease by simply avoiding hazards and locating vulnerable targets. Furthermore, positional awareness facilitates effective communication and teamwork in realistic battles, allowing players to coordinate their actions and form cohesive strategies, whether it's assessing the best vantage point for an attack, or positioning oneself strategically for defense, or optimizing movement to gain a competitive edge. Mastering positional awareness empowers you to make the calculated choices and greatly enhances your immersion. Now that we've gotten the discussion of what positional awareness is and why it's extremely important, I'm going to explain to you how you can get better positional awareness and how you can get more kills and understanding with positional awareness. Positional awareness is understanding of where you need to be and where you currently are. That also includes the missiles you have, the ammo count, the fuel, and the flare count you have. In this position here, there's an F-16 who is extremely slow, and it's me and a Mirage 2000 against him. He's gotten himself extremely slow because he had extremely poor positional awareness. He should have never gotten slow to try and dogfight me, but he chose to anyways, and me and this teammate of mine took advantage of that to get him killed because he is extremely dangerous when he has extremely good positional awareness and he's fast and has all of his missiles, etc., etc. Now that player's dead, we have one last player to take out. It's the MiG-29. With positional awareness here, I can understand and question why is he bombing, why hasn't he shot off a radar missile at me, and why is he running from me. These points allow me to understand this MiG-29's thought process and how I can take him out, as he's an extremely dangerous target and I will not win a dogfight against him, and he needs to be eliminated straight away. Again, recognizing it here, no one else around, nothing on the minimap, there is no players around except for me and this MiG-29, and I'm behind him. I am comfortable with going up into the sky and getting extremely slow. This is a key difference of positional awareness, of understanding what you can and what you can't do versus where you need to be, if that makes sense. It's a little bit complicated, but the more time that you spend in War Thunder, the better you'll get at understanding positional awareness. Another positional awareness informative here is when you go up to altitude, there's a huge white streak of contrail from an enemy player. With this, I was able to spot the next player, which was going to be an F-16. I lock him up with my radar, and fortunately for me, he panics, and instead of going for the head-on with the radar missile and killing me, which he would have won with his AIM-7F, he refused to and did a complete 180 to go away from me. But in doing so, he forgot that I am extremely fast as a MiG-23 because the MiG-23's engines are incredible, and I was able to get up to him. I'm going to shoot off an R-24R here out of overzealousness, and just luckily for me, he does not defend and he's dead. F-16A out of the match, a Gen 3 versus a Gen 4, and all it takes is being the better pilot and making the better decisions. Because I got that first radar lock off on him and comfortably engaged him, even though I knew that he could have possibly shot off a radar missile at me, it allowed me to put fear in him so that he could disengage and we could get the kill on him. We also have another F-16 here as well too. I'm going to go for the head-on, go for another radar missile. 0 RWR warning and nothing coming towards me for missiles. I'm going to confidently shoot off a radar missile at me, and he's dead. That F-16 is out of the match. That is 2 F-16s against my MiG-23, and they're out of the match. And due to extremely high positional awareness and communication with my friendly here, me and him were easily able to destroy the entire match, and we won this match because of it. Again, here's another example of positional awareness. I'm in a J8F. I have multiple targets ahead of me. I have Zerfix and another person named DPK2000. Zerfix is actually, ironically, a friend of mine who I've played with before. Extremely good player. Recognizing it here, there are multiple enemies straight ahead. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players ahead. And just off to my right, we have one singular JA37, which is my friend Zerfix. Now, talking about Zerfix here, he's an extremely good player. He is like top 20 in the entire world for ARB, and he has thousands and thousands of kills in top tier. He's extremely good. And with that information, this gives you a situational like pretty much awareness where you need to understand where should I be versus where I am. Recognizing these 5 players versus Zerfix, which one, in your opinion, this is me asking you this question. If you have Zerfix, the player, the JA37, C variant, not the D variant, with this player who's extremely good, top 10 in the world, versus 5 players, which decision would you go for? Would you go for the 5 players, or would you go for the player who's top 20 in the world? I'll let you think about it for just a second, and you can really just analyze. Now, obviously, it was a trick question. The truth is, even though, yes, Zerfix is a top 20 player, I'd much rather, in my opinion, go after the 5 players, eliminate them, and then go after Zerfix, because Zerfix is easier to understand because he's also an extremely good player, and he will make extremely good decisions. But that also means he's more predictable, as players who are not as good are unpredictable, and they could do things that just make no sense, and in the end could get you killed. Luckily for me, my team is able to eliminate most of them. We get 2 kills there, and then I'm going to U-turn back towards Zerfix's position, where there's a single F4E as well too. The F4E is going to go on to a head-on here. And due to the PL8s being phenomenal, I'm going to get the PL8 on him, and he's going to die. Zerfix as well too is extremely slow. I'm going to fire off a PL8. He's going to flare it, and at this point, it's me and this J7D versus Zerfix. Zerfix is going to go for the vertical, and I'm also going to go for the vertical, but I'm going to maintain my vertical position as the J8F has extremely good climbing speed, and it's pretty much a rocket ship. At this point, Zerfix is at like 200 kilometers an hour, and I'm sitting at 800. I'm going to reverse back onto him, and I'm going to get the shot off on him, and I get Zerfix down. And with that, we're able to win the match, because confidently I can say that if I would have gone for Zerfix before in the beginning and not taken out the 5 players, I most likely would have died in result to that, because I made a dumb decision. The 5 players are going to be more an annoyance versus one good player where you can confidently predict the plays he's going to make because he's an extremely good player. Now, shout out Zerfix. Obviously, I wanted to use that for this video, and no hate to him. He's an extremely good player. He got 7 kills in that match, and it was just unlucky that he got a really bad team. But that was a perfect example of what you should and shouldn't do. Now, on to our second point of discussion. We're going to be talking about missile discipline. Missile discipline is a crucial aspect of effective gameplay in War Thunder, providing numerous benefits to players. It involves employing missiles judiciously and strategically rather than succumbing to the temptation of indiscriminate launches. By exercising missile discipline, players can conserve their limited ammunition and increase their overall combat effectiveness. This approach ensures that missiles are reserved for high-value targets or situations where they have the greatest chance of success. Additionally, missile discipline allows players to maintain situational awareness and focus on other aspects of gameplay, such as maneuvering, positioning, coordinating with teammates. It helps prevent the pitfalls of over-reliance on missiles, such as tunnel visioning or neglecting other offensive and defensive tactics. Furthermore, exercising missile discipline can enhance a player's survivability by saving missiles for crucial engagements. Players increase their chances of taking down priority threats while having reserves for potential follow-up encounters. This is measured and calculated approach also helps to mitigate the risk of prematurely revealing one's position or becoming vulnerable to counterattacks. Ultimately, missile discipline in War Thunder fosters a more tactical and strategic playstyle, maximizing the impact of each missile launch and contributing to your team in the overall mission win. Now that we've explained missile discipline to the fullest, I'm going to teach you guys exactly why missile discipline is extremely important and why you need to learn it. Missile discipline not only contains of your responsibility of TKing friendlies, but also the people that you missile. For a perfect example, I have a buddy of mine, I'm not going to say his name, he knows who he is, but he has a really bad habit of missiling AI targets at the beginning of the match rather than focusing the enemies. Obviously, see here in the background, absolute skill issue. Even though my HMD was pointed at the enemy, I still somehow TK'd my friendly. But to be fair, that is my fault. My friendly was nearby, and I should not have shot out that missile, but I was overzealous on trying to get the triple kill that I ended up ultimately taking my friendly out. But lucky for me, I was able to take out the 3 players. So in the end, it was just a trade-off of ending that guy's game and ultimately getting the game win for us. I did apologize, and he did say it was all good. But it's stuff like that is taking responsibility if you make those mistakes, right? Obviously, with that one, not really much I could have done other than just not firing it off, knowing that my friendly was nearby. I see this all the time, and it happens constantly. People will just fire off missiles no matter where the team is, because they just don't care. They just simply do not care. And if you have this mindset of it doesn't matter where my friendlies are and that I don't think my missile will hit, you are going to TK people and you're going to get yourself in a shitty position. This is extremely bad, and this happens so extremely often that it feels like people are intentionally doing it. Another thing with missile discipline is understanding who you should be shooting your missiles off to and why you're shooting it off them. In the background here, I'm going to be firing off 4 Phoenixes, 4 Phoenixes off at players, and I'm going to start gliding down and notching, essentially, or what they like to say is cranking. I get 1 kill there, and then I'm going to get a second kill here in just a second, and that's 2 AIM-54Cs. I'm going to completely notch because I'm confident the other 2 missiles may hit or may not. But understanding missile discipline is also understanding high-value targets, and high-value targets doesn't mean the player, the vehicle that they're in, essentially. It also just means, are they paying attention? Are they high altitude? Do they have no flares, for example? Those are very, very good ways to tell if a player is a high-target player. We have 2 players here, F14 and F4S. Both of them are not paying attention, and they're playing together. They're both extremely high-value targets, and that's 2 free kills, just like that, and I went from 0 kills to 4 kills in about 30 seconds. A lot of people also just don't realize that top tier is not only missiles, but it also involves strategic playing and gunfights too. It does happen very rarely, but it does happen, and you do need that ultimate mastering of understanding of positioning, your skills with missiles, and also your skills with guns. Ultimately, if you don't have good aim, you're going to get rid of all your missiles, and then you're forced to have good aim and have to dogfight or whatever example you need to be in. A lot of people think that top tier is bad, and I understand why, but a lot of people don't understand that top tier is extremely advanced. The fact that Timmy, who just got off 3rd grade, can press 2 buttons and eliminate me, there's something satisfying about that. The fact that I have to be the better player, I have to make the right decisions. And I can't let little Timmy, who just got off elementary, eliminate me like that. I have to play better. I like that better than playing in props where you're climbing for 45 minutes just to dogfight against an XP50 who climbed up to 50,000 feet, and there's nothing you can do because your poor BF-109 can barely hit 20,000 feet at that point. That stuff just isn't fun to me, and that's exactly why I play top tier, because top tier is extremely fast-paced, you're into the point, and the game is over when you want it to be over. And along with that, again, like I've said, anyone can kill you. I like that. I like that anyone can kill you. But obviously, if you play better than them, then you won't have to die. My next point that I want to talk about, and I think this is extremely important, is going to be personal accountability. I also want to go back and talk about how my friend that I was talking about, who likes to go after air targets at the beginning of the match rather than saving his missiles for endgame. Because most of the time what happens is we'll get into endgame and he'll have no missiles anymore, and he can't do anything anymore. Because he used all of his missiles for air targets at the beginning of the match rather than saving them for when they could have been extremely valuable, like saving a teammate or killing somebody who was killing a bunch of players. You know what I mean? That stuff is extremely important and it's overlooked. Now, are we getting into personal accountability here? Personal accountability in War Thunder is a crucial element that can greatly enhance a player's overall playstyle. It involves taking responsibility for one's actions, decisions, and performances in the game. By embracing personal accountability, players become more self-aware and proactive in their pursuit of improvement. They actively assess their own strengths and weaknesses, analyzing their gameplay to identify areas for growth. This mindset fosters a willingness to learn from mistakes, adapt strategies, and refine skills. Taking personal accountability also encourages players to set specific goals and work towards achieving those goals. Whether it's mastering a particular aircraft, improving accuracy in dogfights, or enhancing situational awareness. Additionally, personal accountability promotes a positive and respectful gaming environment. You, the player who holds himself accountable for their actions, tend to exhibit better sportsmanship, display fair play, and treat others with respect and courtesy. This not only enhances the individual player's experience, but also contributes to more enjoyable and cooperative gameplay. Ultimately, personal accountability in War Thunder empowers you, the player, to continually strive for excellence, foster self-improvement, and contribute positively to the overall gameplay experience for yourself and others. Now that we got that covered, in the background, you're going to see me here taking personal accountability for my mistake here. As you can see here, I air brake, I throttle back to 100% throttle, and I get myself extremely slow. But if you can tell here from my positional awareness, I made a grave mistake, and I screwed up badly. There are multiple enemies nearby, around 3 or 4, and I've gotten myself to under 500 kilometers an hour, and I should have been punished for this decision. Obviously, like I've said, personal accountability is extremely important at understanding the mistakes that you make, because you will never improve as a player if you tell yourself that you're perfect and you don't make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Yes, I've gotten top 10 in the world, but I'm not perfect and I'm going to make mistakes, and it happens. Obviously, here, I got extremely lucky, and I wasn't punished for it. But in that case there, I should have been punished for that huge mistake I made, and in the end, I wasn't. But that was just pure luck. Multiple ways to take personal accountability is to understand when you die, rather than raging, which I normally do, but I'm usually come to my senses afterwards, after I've gained a little bit of clarity, is to sit there and question, why did I die? What did I do wrong? What can I do better? If you struggle with trying to remember what you did or what the other players did, sometimes it's best to go back to the replay mode and watch how you played. This way, you can analyze exactly the mistakes you made and how to improve those mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. As you can see in the background, I'm in an F4F, and I'm goofing off and being a moron. And I'm dogfighting F4s, F5Cs in my F4 because it's hilarious. But even at that, this is really poor choices to make. And this is a perfect example of recognizing the mistake I've made and and trying to take back what I've done. In this dogfight here with this F5C, I've gotten myself so extremely slow, and I'm absolutely just delusional believing that I can win this fight. And even though this enemy has god-awful aim and can't hit me, I still somehow am alive. Even though I've made a grave mistake and I should be punished for this mistake, I'm still alive, and I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I'm still alive. I've got flaps all the way out, and this F5 has still missed every single one of his shots. But with that said, I obviously was aware of me making these mistakes, and to me this was just funny, and it wasn't that big of a deal because I was playing in the F4F, and I wasn't too worried if I died or not. Again, dodging like the third time there, dodging more shots in this dogfight here, and then again here. I'm going to pull out in front, try to go over the nose of the F4F. I do successfully, and he misses. Right here, I eventually realize I'm an idiot, and I need to get out of here now. What am I doing with myself? So I'm going to drop my nose straight down to the ground, and I'm going to zoom away. And it's just that awareness of what am I doing? I'm losing this dogfight. I need to get out of here and extend away, because I know I can. I have the better engines. But it's that personal accountability. I was aware of the mistake I was making. I shouldn't have done it, but obviously this is the best example that I can provide for the mistakes I make and the personal accountability behind those mistakes. It happens. You are going to make mistakes and you're going to fuck up. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But, if you never take accountability for those things, you'll never learn. It's the same thing for TKs. If you if you TK a friendly, it happens. There's nothing you can do about it. You've already made the mistake. It's at that point then you need to take personal accountability for that mistake and understand, what did I do wrong? How can I prevent TKing a friendly like that again? Again, me in the background just being a moron and just dogfighting an FIC, air brakes out, landing flaps out, afterburner off, like absolutely delusional. What am I doing? But yet somehow, someway, even though this F5 has recognized that he hasn't hit me once, he still continues to dogfight me and still continues to put up a fight, even though he has proved that he cannot hit shots at close range. And this is the mistake the F5 makes, is pulling straight in front of my guns, and he's dead. And just like that, I went from a losing F4F to the winning F4F in that dogfight there. And a little bit of flame in chat, because I'm dumb. And I was listening to music. But yes, I appreciate your love and support, guys. Thank you guys for everything. Like, literally all the subs, all the comments, likes, and everything. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. And I really hope this video helped you guys to sum it down straight. TLDR, understand where you are, positional awareness. Think about what missiles you should be firing off, why you're firing out those missiles, and understanding if you do die, take personal accountability and learn from your mistakes. That's pretty much the end of this video, and yeah, thank you guys so much for everything, and I hope you guys have a blessed day, and yeah, peace.